What's up guys, EB Tech here, and I'm finally back. Finally! Because, well, long story short, college tried to kill me. So, I could not do YouTube. I didn't have a life for the last 4 months, but I am finally back, and I am ready to get back to making these videos for you guys. So while I was gone, I still was able to pick up a couple things of tech, and I found one that I really think you guys would like. These are the Sony XB950N1s. It's a long name, but these are really good headphones. And now let me tell you why. I got these about 2 months ago, and ever since I've got them, I have fell in love with them, and I absolutely would not trade these for anything, ever. Now some of you watching my channel know that I've been using a pair of Beats Studios, and those are okay, but there's certain things that I didn't like about them that I've always needed another pair of headphones for. This pair of headphones right here has been pretty much correcting everything that I didn't like about the Beats, and then added some. The best way to describe these headphones is function over form. They're not exactly the prettiest headphones, but they perform a lot better than they look. Because if I'm being honest, these headphones are fairly large. Like, I have these on and I can see them out of my peripheral vision. So they are a fairly large headphone. But I will say, even though they are fairly large, they are actually extremely comfortable. They have these nice plushy ear cushions that are just heavenly. I've wore these for hours on end, listening to music, studying, and just even walking around. I absolutely love these. In the heat, they can get a little sweaty, but overall, these are still a very comfortable pair of headphones, and I absolutely love that about them. Especially being a student that has to study for hours and hours and hours on end, or edit videos for hours and hours and hours on end. One of the two. I love these headphones, and that's part of the main reason why. Now looking at the face of the headphone, it has this textured plastic, but honestly, nothing about these headphones feel cheap. Even though there are plastic parts, most of this stuff has either metal inside it, or even the top band has a metal band going over it. Also looking at the face, you can see the symbol where it does take NFC. If you're one of those people that do have Androids that have NFC, this will actually work with those, which is actually pretty good, but I'm on iPhone, so that does nothing for me. Now also looking at the face of the headphone, you can see the little hole for the active noise cancellation. Now I will say, in experience, when I'm walking outside with these, this hole can actually let air in and give you kind of a little, that little wind noise. So that is something to be aware of if you are planning to use these a lot outside. So if you're indoors, it's really not a problem. But people that like to take these outside a lot, just something to take note of. Now if we look at the bottom of the headphone, we can see pretty much every button you would ever want for a headphone. So you can pretty much control everything about these headphones from the buttons. Now working our way over, you actually have the play and skip forward and back button. This is actually very helpful whenever you don't want to get your phone out or anything and you want to play, pause, or skip. You have your volume buttons right beside it, so you can control the volume from your headphones are right there. Going over to the other ear cup, you can actually see where you have the noise cancellation button, which is your active noise canceling, so you can turn it on or off depending on what situation you're in. If you're around, out and about, and you still want to be able to hear ambient noises, or if something's coming up behind you, you can at least have the option to turn it off, so that way you don't have to have the noise cancellation if you don't want to. There is also the audio input, because these are wireless headphones, but they can be used in wired mode in case you need that. They also have micro USB, which they use to charge, the bass boost button, which is my absolute favorite feature, and then of course you have your power button. Now I will say one complaint I have about the bass boost button is, in a word, it's kind of awkward in its position. Because a lot of the times when you go to lift the headphones, your thumb ends up where the bass boost button is, right there. Oftentimes I will end up accidentally hitting it, and plus you can't tell if your finger is on it or not because it's flush. There's no texture to it, there's nothing, it's just a button literally flush to the frame. And honestly, that is one of my main gripes about these headphones. Now, one of the last things about design for these headphones is the fact that they can go from this to this. Or, if you want to, you can take it and do it like this. You can do it like this. So you have a variety of ways you can store these headphones, which oftentimes I will pretty much just lay them flat and lay them in my bag like this, so they take up less room. Or if you want the option to store them like this, you can probably get a case that these will fit in, and there you go. Now moving on to what everyone actually cares about in these headphones, the sound. These sound, in a word, like a beast. These headphones sound absolutely amazing. I love them, which granted in my opinion could be slightly skewed because I've come from the Beats. And the fact that I've also been using Apple AirPods too. Now the AirPods are nice, they sound clean, but at the same time the bass presence isn't exactly there. The way this EQ is set for Beats, it almost ends up making everything else sound muddy for the sake of having more bass, and it just doesn't work. Now granted, if you have nothing else, they're great sounding headphones, they're fine. But for me and somebody that tries to do audio work with these headphones, it just doesn't work at all. So basically, these sound very clear, especially in the mids and highs. And then when it comes to the bass, instead of sounding like somebody EQ'd the speaker to where the speaker would sound muddy for the sake of bass, it sounds like there is a speaker and then imagine having a subwoofer next to you in addition to that speaker. So you have that clarity, plus you get that extra bass, which is hence the name XB, which to me sounds way better because when it comes especially to the low frequencies, this bass boost is absolute king in my opinion. Now there are other headphones that do this bass boost. For example, the Skull Candy Crusher Wireless. They try to shake the headphones to emulate bass, which to me just ends up sounding fake, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't like that. I want something that sounds a little more natural and like a subwoofer rather than trying to shake a headphone to emulate and accentuate the bass function. To me, I much prefer these. Now another thing we have to factor in about these is the noise cancellation. Now the noise cancellation is really good to me. Now I have actually tried the noise cancellation king, the Bose QC35s. To me, both the Bose QC35s and the Sony 1000X Mark IIs, or now they have the Mark IIIs, do an actual better job at noise cancellation. But these still do not slouch on the noise cancellation. I have used these on long trips and stuff like that, and they do very well at drowning out the noise, especially when you actually turn up your music a little bit. I honestly only run these at about half volume, and that pretty much drowns out everything I need to, at least to the point that it's just nothing but me and my music with the noise cancellation. So to me, it does a fantastic job. It's not the best, but it does the job, plus it gives you that extra bass, which is honestly all I can ask for in a headphone. Now one of the main features about this phone is the fact that it does come with an app. So you actually have the option to adjust how much bass you want. So you can have it all the way up, which of course I crank it. Or if you want to, you can actually turn the bass all the way down, if that is something you prefer. So you can actually adjust what the bass boost button does, whether it adds just a tiny bit or adds a lot. So you at least have the option there as to you're not stuck with one particular setting that Sony describes for you. You also still in the app have the option to turn on and off the noise cancellation, There's also EQ modes, which I personally don't use these that much. I don't really like them. I just typically leave it off. But if you do want to, you have the option of having arena, club, and outdoor stage, stuff like that. But personally, I just leave it off. So you at least have the option if you would like. And finally, the price. You can typically find these headphones, I believe I just found them on Amazon for about 180 to 200 bucks. Or if you do what I did and buy them used, I actually found them for about 80 to 100 bucks if you buy them used, and they're still in fairly good condition because, again, they're very strong headphones. So final conclusion, there's a reason I chose these to be my replacement for the Beats. I love them. I will never give these up until I have to and they come up with a new version of these. But for the money, you can't beat these headphones. But thank you guys for watching. I hope this video helped you out a little bit. If it did, maybe drop a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.